Why does this specific training style create such extreme results? It all comes down to type 2 muscle fibers. From a pure sports physiology standpoint, keeping your muscles under maximum continuous tension triggers a profound nervous and hormonal response. By holding your body in the absolute strongest, most mechanically demanding positions, you literally force these fast-twitch, combat-ready fibers to activate entirely. This intense pressure doesn't just tear tissue, it triggers an aggressive hormonal cascade, flooding your system with crucial growth factors. At the same time, you're training your brain's neural pathways to recruit maximum muscle fibers instantly. This is the exact mechanism you need to build that explosive, split-second power for devastating martial arts strikes.
To really grasp the science, we have to compare your standard training to this intense method. Think about a standard, full range of motion rep. Your muscle actually gets a tiny microsecond of rest at the very top and the very bottom of that movement, right? But with short range or partial reps, you completely eliminate those resting points. Boom, gone. Physiologically, this unbroken contraction causes a shockingly rapid depletion of your ATP energy stores. You get this deep muscle fatigue and a massive spike in lactic acid that forces an adaptive response you just don't get with full reps. Your body goes into absolute overdrive, building thicker, denser muscle tissue simply as a biological survival mechanism against that continuous tension.
Now, moving into some advanced tempo strategies, we hit what's called the unstable tempo shock. This is where you aggressively mix violent, explosive reps with painfully slow, controlled movements. And let me tell you, this combination of speed changes profoundly shocks your central nervous system. That explosive start trains your brain to fire instantly, giving you raw athletic snap. But then, shifting to a slow, agonizing 3-second descent and a dead pause, that tears those deeper microtissues. The sheer contrast between that explosive power and the controlled agony of the descent creates the ultimate burnout tolerance. It forges endurance that's just relentlessly powerful.
So what does this actually do to your body on a systemic level? High-volume circuits create a very specific, deep, layered muscular fatigue. By chaining exercises together with zero breaks, you're forcing constant blood flow. Biologically, this builds incredibly dense networks of capillaries, and more capillaries mean accelerated oxygen delivery. In a combat scenario, this systemic adaptation translates directly to ring stamina. The rapid depletion of your energy stores during training forces your body to adapt so you can survive those final grueling rounds of a fight. You'll be striking long after your opponent has completely gassed out.
All right, let's execute. Pay close attention to the form here. Step 1, lower your body halfway down. Step 2, push back up but focus entirely on the upper half of the movement. Step 3, pulse continuously in this tight range until absolute failure. Think of this movement exactly like a boxer throwing rapid, piston-like jabs. That continuous chest and triceps tension translates directly to unrelenting striking endurance in the ring. A quick, crucial breathing tip. Exhale sharply on every single pulse to keep that vital oxygen flowing. And a big safety check here. A very common mistake is flaring your elbows out. Don't do it, it will destroy your shoulder joints over time. To fix this instantly, keep your elbows tucked tight to your ribs.
So how do we effectively regulate intensity without strapping on heavy weight plates? We use a highly specific progression matrix. Now, if you're a beginner, you'll logically scale this volume down and use easier variations just to master the form and build joint stability. But as a pro, you execute this exact sequence. You hit 10 full reps just to establish baseline neural activation. Then, zero rest, you immediately jump into 15 bottom pulses to aggressively overload your weakest biomechanical zone. Finally, you finish out with 10 top pulses for maximum blood pump and density. You are pushing your body way past normal failure, using nothing but gravity and sheer grit.
Moving down to the lower body, let's tackle the partial squat. Step 1, lower yourself into a squat. Step 2, pause right midway. Step 3, pulse up and down strictly within a 10 to 15 centimeter range. Step 4, absolutely under no circumstances, rest at the bottom. We use this specific 15 centimeter range because it perfectly isolates the exact biomechanical angle where lower body force generation is most critical. In a fight, this is the exact driving force you need for a sudden explosive wrestling takedown. Safety check on this one, a dangerous mistake is letting your knees cave inward, which is called knee valgus. Actively push your knees outward to protect your connective tissues during these heavy partials. And that brings us to the squat volume strategy.
You're going to start with 20 full reps, followed instantly by 20 quarter bottom pulses. I won't lie to you, the lactic acid buildup generated here is genuinely excruciating. But you have to fight through it. Why? Because that pain is exactly what forces the adaptive response. Enduring this specific, brutal volume gives you unbreakable leg stamina. When you're in the final round of a bout and your legs feel like literal lead, this exact training protocol is what keeps you standing, moving, and dominating the center of the ring.
Next up, we are targeting the back with partial pull-ups. Step 1, grip the bar shoulder width. Step 2, lower your body to the midpoint. Step 3, lift back to the top, utilizing only that short upper half movement. Step 4, continue this to absolute failure. Look, in combat, your lats and biceps completely dictate your grappling and clinching power. This pulsing movement builds that exact, unbreakable pulling strength. A common mistake I see here is using swinging momentum to jerk yourself up. Don't do that. You must engage strict neural control. Use purely muscle contraction. Oh, and for safety, maintain an active grip. Tightly wrap your thumbs around that bar to ensure joint stability while you hang.
This is where it gets absolutely brutal. By executing the pull-up shock strategy, we aggressively break the movement down into exact thirds. You hit 5 full pull-ups for overall lat power. You follow immediately with 5 bottom half pulses to overload the extreme stretch position of the muscle. And then you execute 5 top half pulses to force maximum sustained contraction. This strategy is vital. This angle-specific fatigue prevents any single muscle fiber from escaping the load. It's a scientifically perfect way to force massive muscle growth in back density using absolutely nothing but a pull-up bar.
Let's jump back to the lower body and look at partial lunges. Step 1, step forward into a lunge. Step 2, lower your body to the midpoint. Step 3, push up a mere 10 centimeters. Step 4, alternate legs and repeat to failure. This extremely restricted range of motion keeps your glutes and legs intensely engaged with absolutely zero mechanical relief. Think about the constant, rhythmic footwork and rapid shifting of weight you need in a boxing ring. You are never fully at rest. This movement flawlessly mimics that exact biological demand, rapidly draining your legs' ATP stores and forcing your body to thrive in a highly acidic, high lactic environment.
Time to inject some pure speed. Step 1, explosive lift off the ground. Step 2, jump forcefully into the air. Step 3, land and immediately, fluidly return to the squat position. This is where we violently train your central nervous system for raw athletic explosiveness. The aggressive force generation required to launch your entire body weight into the air is the exact same kinetic chain you use to deliver a devastating knockout kick. But listen closely for safety. When landing, you must absorb the impact instantly with your muscles by bending your knees. Never ever land with stiff legs. You have to protect your knees and spine from that extreme kinetic force.
Now listen to me carefully here, warrior. Brutal, high-intensity training absolutely requires calculated scientific recovery. Skipping this means failure in the ring, period. You must always perform a dynamic warm-up to lubricate the joints before starting. Ensure constant rhythmic breathing during these partials to deliver vital oxygen to your deeply fatigued muscles. But your training does not end when the sweat dries. For true ring readiness, you need post-workout deep tissue massage to manually clear trapped lactic acid and static stretching to lengthen those violently contracted fibers. Above all else, prioritize heavy protein nutrition and deep sleep. That is literally the only time your muscle actually repairs and grows.
Okay, let's put all of this biomechanical theory into a relentless weekly progression. Here is your day 1 chest and arms circuit. Following your warm-up, you flow directly from standard partials to hit the main chest. Next, transition instantly to diamond push-ups to torch the triceps. Then shift right into inverted V-shapes to target the front deltoids and shoulders. Finally, burn out completely on wall push-ups, taking the muscle to absolute failure. This specific, unrelenting sequence systematically destroys and rebuilds the upper body from every single vector, building an impenetrable layer of muscular armor.
By the time you hit day 6, we test your ultimate capacity with a full body gauntlet. We're talking push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and core work. But the true test is at the very end. Burpees to absolute failure, immediately followed by a 30-second light jog. We are intentionally pushing your heart rate right to the red line. This perfectly simulates the immense cardiovascular stress of a chaotic, high-stakes combat scenario. There is a deep, psychological aspect to this specific gauntlet. It's designed to simulate the panic of an exhausted fight. This is the moment where your mind either breaks under the pressure or it hardens into steel.
So what's the ultimate takeaway here?
When you combine continuous tension, the crazy contrast of explosive and agonizingly slow tempos, and high-volume circuits, the result is undeniable. The core scientific principle of continuous tension and maximum fiber recruitment leaves your body with literally no choice but to adapt biologically. You create unbreakable strength. You build relentless endurance, you master your nervous system and forge an unstoppable mindset. And you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that true power comes from sheer commitment and grit, not from swiping a card at an expensive gym.
I've given you the science. You have the proper form, the injury prevention tactics, the recovery methods, and the exact step-by-step programming. You have the complete, unfiltered blueprint for raw, explosive power sitting right in front of you. Every single excuse you had, gone, dismantled. So, as your coach, I'm going to leave you with one final question to answer for yourself. Are you going to drop to the floor right now and put in the work, or are you going to remain weak? The choice is entirely yours. Get after it.